59. Hello! This is my review for Attack on Titan or Shingeki no Kyojin chapter 59. Is the armour really treated as this chapter? Colour front page. And what did it show? What did it show? Jean is alive. I knew it, I knew it, I knew it. If you didn't watch my last review, I said Jean would be alive. And I was right. Armin, you are such a little beast. I had no idea that Armin was going to be the one to kill him, because that is just so out there. But you don't even kind of consider him to do that kind of thing. So if you compare how Armin reacts to having to kill someone to how Eren and Mikasa reacted to having to kill the two kidnappers, they're on completely different ends of the same scale. So you've got Armin over here, who is a complete mess. He's throwing up, he's crying, he's just can't face anyone, won't eat. And then you've got Eren on the other side, who was just like, that beast, they deserve it, I don't care what I've done, like, I know it was the right thing, so not bothered. And then Mikasa didn't really kind of react to the whole thing. Obviously she was in a lot of shock, which is understandable, so we haven't really seen that kind of reaction from her, but I suppose that's a valid reaction also. 3 very different reactions to the same thing. And Armin also apologises to Mikasa after he brings up that she's killed someone before. It's nice to see that interaction between Mikasa and Armin, because it shows that she does care about him. And a lot of people say, oh, she's only interested in one thing. That's not true. She's actually got quite a deep character, and she does care about Armin and Eren. So she cares about the 2 main people in her life. This chapter showed a bit of the politics inside the walls with the corrupt media. So you've got the military police guy who really wanted to stop all the corruption and bring it all round, and that was kind of mirrored in the journalist who was quickly told to pipe down and shut up and get back in your place, lad. So that kind of mirrors Marlowe from the military police, and shows how there's ignorance to the corruption, but also it's really deeply seeded. Also, you get the head of the military police guy, that fellow who was having a go at Erwin earlier. He's there being interviewed by these journalists I was just talking about, and he seems to be getting like second thoughts about the whole thing, and he might be swaying more towards Erwin's side. So that's kind of like mirrored again later in the chapter with Marlowe and Mitch. Marlowe and Hitch. It could be a general feeling within the military police, we don't know. But that seems to be where it's pointing to, is that there's going to be a big backlash with a lot of absconding. So going back to the Survey Corps, they're in a forest somewhere. There's a lot of mirroring in this chapter, so a lot of things are relevant to each other. If you remember back to the Female Titan arc, when they were in the giant forest, like running after the Female Titan, after that whole charade, Eren is blaming himself for the deaths of Levi's whole brigade, saying that he should have reacted faster, blah blah blah. Levi says, don't be stupid, it's not your fault. Nobody knows what's going to happen, so anything you do is not wrong, but it's also not right. So he kind of says that again to Armin when he's blaming himself, saying, well, I'm clearly the worst kind of person because she hesitated whereas he didn't. I suppose that kind of shows Armin's character a little bit as well. He's trying to logically go through it and assess the whole situation, what could have been, what could have happened. Everyone's saying, well, you can't do that. So that's what Levi's trying to do. I guess he's trying to reassure them. So you go to the motley crew of Marlowe and Hitch wandering around in the forest, and Hitch is whinging about Annie going missing and all this stuff being all over the room still. I guess the government have kept Annie being a Titan shifter a secret from everyone then, seeing as Hitch doesn't know. Well, Marlowe and Hitch don't know about it, and they're in the military police, so you'd think that they'd at least let the military police know what was going on. You'd have thought. I don't even know who's looking after her now, since she's like buried underneath. Is she in the military police custody? Because then you'd think that they would know about that. But clearly they've kept it a secret, and if I was in charge, the first thing I'd do, if you had a traitor in your midst, go in a room, get all the stuff, check that there's not any like secret messages outside the walls or something. See if there's something that could give you a clue to who else is a Titan shifter. That's the first thing you do. So I guess maybe it shows the incompetence of them. Maybe it's just a plot hole. With the conversation going on between Marlowe and Hitch, it kind of shows the two different sides of what people are feeling about the Survey Corps. So you've got Hitch, who's like blames them for all the deaths that happened, and then you've got Marlowe, who's a bit more lenient, saying, well, they did what they set out to do. They might have had sacrifices, but at least this could have prevented sacrifices more later on down the road, and a lot more serious ones. So you've kind of got the two opinions there that are opposite. We haven't heard much about people's opinions on Levi and the rest of them becoming like traitors to the crown, so that's actually quite interesting to hear. It kind of shows that people are willing to see their point of view. So then you've got them trying to arrest Armin and him getting really sassy with them, which is pretty great. I can hardly see Connie in that picture. His disguise is absolutely great. Well done, Connie. I think he should win a prize. So you kind of go on a bit of a roller coaster with this chapter. It's not a very steep roller coaster, but it's still a roller coaster nonetheless. Like, there's a few ups and downs. When Levi says, Hitch and Marlowe, you're next, kind of thing, kind of sounds like he's gonna kill them. But then it kind of shows the value that they place on human lives. Although they killed all the people that were chasing after them before, they were inherently going to harm them. But this part kind of shows that if people don't have to be killed, then they don't want to kill them. We know that Levi doesn't like wasted lives, basically, so I think this chapter kind of shows that he doesn't kill Marlowe and Hitch, he like lets them go. It kind of brings him back to what we thought he was like. Not a serial killer. So towards the end we see Jean taking it upon himself to kind of test them. Well, you don't know if that was pre-planned. Could have been. To see if Marlowe was telling the truth when he said he wanted to join them and he would help them do whatever they wanted to do. Which obviously you wouldn't trust straight away. That'd be ridiculous. At first, I thought, Jean, what are you doing? You're such an idiot. That was quite a risky manoeuvre that you pulled, tripping over on purpose with that knife. That could have gone very wrong. Very wrong. It turned out okay, I suppose. Mild concussion, you know, it's fine. So it'll be interesting to see what kind of roles Marlowe and Hitch are going to play later on in the series. I guess Hitch is not as well sold on the whole thing as Marlowe. She might turn traitor again, I suppose, against the Survey Corps. And I was surprised we didn't see anything from Erin's side this chapter, so I guess maybe the next one will be more concentrated on that, or we won't see anything about it until they find him. I was impressed with this chapter. I really enjoyed it. It was exciting, it was fun. You didn't really know what was going to happen, and then it leads on to the next chapter, which looks like it's going to be a really good one. I think that Isayama definitely will be treating us next chapter. In fact, Isayama treated us this chapter. Erin said, what? What?
Hey.
What?
Wanna go to the 5 o'clock one?
No.
Hey?
No.
Yeah.
No.
No, why?
I'm videoing. I'm recording.
What's she doing?
I'm recording.
What?
I'm recording a video. So.
Can't you do it later?
No.
Well, you gonna have tea earlier then? What are you gonna do?
What?
Yes or no?
It's a no. I can't do this later. We'll see what time I finish. I'm not gonna finish. You go now. Mum. Mum. Parent.